My Govanen Eridan, it is good to meet such a worthy ranger. Your name is sung with great praise here in Imladris, but now we must add new verses. It is a wonder that 3 of you could defeat a foe such as Bargrassar, unaided and surrounded by enemies. That is a feat that will live on in song and tale.
My Govanen, Lady Arwen, it is an honor to meet you at last. But we 3 alone cannot take credit for that victory. We owe much to the aid of the great eagle, Belaram.
There are few left upon Middle-earth like Gwaihir the Windlord and the Knights of the Air that serve him. Belaram and his kin will not be forgotten in this tale, I assure you. Yet with each piece of news, I see my father grow more grim. He is powerful and can long hold Imladris against an attack, but the enemy has laid his plans well. Sauron's allies are also powerful, and when the stroke falls, it will fall not only upon those lands near to Mordor. The North will feel his wrath as well.
Is there any news of Frodo?
Is it not strange that the fate of the world should rest upon one who is so small? And yet the hopes of all who would stand against the enemy depend upon the success of his quest. And for this reason, it is best to say as little of it as possible. Those few of us who know of the ring must guard the secret closely, and keep any hint of knowledge from reaching Sauron.
There is wisdom in your words. There are too many unfriendly ears in the world. We do not know where danger may be lurking. I must be on my way. Namarie.
Gundabad awaits us.
We ask a great deal of you to carry us into such danger. Perhaps we ask too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
We are deeply honored to have the friendship of the great eagles, and especially one as noble as you, Belaram.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to bear you to Gundabad.
Your friends were eager to offer their services. Perhaps they do not fully appreciate the danger. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baranthor is young and eager to prove himself, but he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
I was surprised that Gwaihir gave you leave to come with us. From what I am told, he rarely intervenes in the affairs of those who walk upon the ground.
It is true, Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Windlord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
Have we put you at odds with Gwaihir by helping us?
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an eyrie that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
What should we expect when we reach Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Have we any chance then to carry out this mission?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
We will keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Are you kin to Belaram?
No, but he has always guided me. Balaram taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Belaram leads, I will follow.
Great eagles were not meant to carry burdens, Baranthor. I would not have you continue to carry us against your will.
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand...
Are you one of the eagles who helped Bilbo Baggins in his quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of 5 Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
I am grateful to you, Dunedain. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
What can you tell me of your leader, Gwaihir?
Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the north wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
Flying upon an eagle's back is a rare privilege. I wonder why it is you volunteered for this task.
It was enough for me that Belaram wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the eagles the stone giant slew was my own father. You avenged him, and for that act alone I would bear any of you to the farthest ends of Middle-earth. And though Bargrasar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance against the master that sent him against us, Agandar. Your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down.
Were you one of the eagles that took part in the Battle of 5 Armies?
So I was. When the Allied armies found themselves set upon by goblins who had stealthily scaled the mountain slopes, I was among those who set upon the enemy and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
Are you ready for a long flight to Mount Gundabad?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
Welcome, Eridan. I suspected you would find your way here before long.
What task are you working at now?
My fellow smiths and I have recently completed a great work. The reforging of the legendary sword Narsil. It was a demanding and exhausting task, but I dare say we created something worthy of a king. Now that it is complete, I've turned to work of a different sort. I'm amusing myself by practicing the art of imbuing gemstones.
What can you tell me of this sword, Narsil?
Narsil was the sword of Elendil, a mighty lord of the Dunedain who defied the Dark Lord in the War of the Lost Alliance. He bore the sword in battle against Sauron, but he was slain and the sword was broken. Since that time, the shards of the sword have been an heirloom of the House of Elendil. It was to remain broken until the day when an heir of Elendil would go to war to reclaim the crown and title of king. And now at last that day has come, and Narsil has been made whole once more. Aragorn has renamed the sword Anduril, the Flame of the West. May it serve him well.
What do you mean by imbuing?
Simply that certain objects have inherent virtues, and a skilled artisan can, through his craft, increase those virtues and bind them to an object for advantage. Gemstones are very strong vessels for this process. Sadly, appropriate gemstones have become difficult to find. The growing trouble throughout the land keeps travelers away, and our own people are staying closer to home.
Perhaps I can help you with that. I will be traveling soon.
I would be pleased to have your help. I will provide you with a list of the types of gemstones that are of the greatest value to me. If you collect the stones, I am certain I could create something that you would find useful. But to be of use, the gemstones must be of the highest quality. Fortunately, we have as a guest a dwarf of the Lonely Mountain. Glóin is his name, and he is skilled in the appraisal of gems of all sorts. Once you have gathered the stones, allow him to examine them. He'll know if they are suitable.
I should be going.
Those who venture into the wild must be well prepared. Examine the goods Imladris has to offer.
Imladris? Where is that?
Your pardon, this is Imladris, the house of Elrond Half-Elven. We who dwell here call it by that name, but it is more commonly known as Rivendell.
What sort of folk dwell here in Rivendell?
Elves, for the most part. My people have dwelt in Imladris for a very long time indeed. But there are other folk to be found here as well. Elrond welcomes all people of goodwill. The Dunedain come often, your own folk come occasionally. We are even home to one special hobbit.
Who is this hobbit you speak of?
Bilbo the Magnificent, greatest of the Shire folk. The same hobbit who overthrew the dragon Smaug, although these days he is more interested in poetry than adventure. And food and drink, of course. Keeping a hobbit well fed is enough to keep several stewards busy.
Your home seems so serene. I assume it is kept so by strength of arms?
This is a place of learning and peace, not a fortress or camp of war. But there are those here who wield great power, especially the Lord Elrond. Yet even he does not have the strength to overthrow the Dark Lord, or to resist him if he comes against us with great strength.
I will do my best to see that day never comes.
Nobly spoken. I am told you have done great deeds on behalf of all free folk, and I am certain you will accomplish greater things still. But if you plan to contend with the enemy, you must be well prepared. Perhaps you should examine the stores we have on hand.
What can you tell me about Elrond?
To tell you everything I know of Master Elrond would take many days. Let it suffice to say that he is an elven lord of great and noble lineage, ancient beyond mortal reckoning, and wise beyond measure. None are more skilled as a healer, or more versed in the lore of ages past.
Thank you for your welcoming words, but I do not believe I've had the pleasure.
No, indeed. I am Alare, one of Master Elrond's stewards. I help to manage the needs of his household, including arms and armor. I suspect you might have need of such things.
I should be on my way.
Hello, you are one of the Dunedain, are you not? Please allow me to introduce myself. Bilbo Baggins at your service.
Eredon, at yours.
Always happy to meet one of the Guardians of the North. I've heard all about what you and your friends have been doing to keep us safe. You'll have to tell me all about it one of these days so I can write it all down properly.
Tell me about Frodo. Is he your son?
Oh, no, he's not my son. Actually, he's my first cousin once removed. And also my second cousin once removed. Well, it's complicated, but we share a great-grandfather. The poor lad was orphaned at an early age, and so I adopted him. Made him my heir, all nice and legal, while simultaneously dashing the greedy hopes of my odious relations, the Sackville Baggins. He's a good lad, Frodo. I only wish he hadn't inherited my troubles along with my estate. I hope Gandalf and the Dunedain are keeping him safe on their journey.
The Dunedain? In the Elvish, that signifies Man of the West, one of my people.
Yes, indeed, but when I say it, I mean Aragorn, of course. The Dunedain, he is often called here. Oh, yes, I first met Aragorn, well, it must be more than 15 years ago now. His adventures keep him away from Rivendell far too much for my liking, but he's my chief source of news whenever he does return.
Can you tell me how Frodo came to be in possession of the Ring of Power?
Well, yes, that was through me, I'm afraid. I found the ring by happenstance while lost beneath the roots of the Misty Mountains. I won it. That is to say, I took it from the creature Gollum. Of course, I did not know the full story of the ring until only a few days ago. I thought it was merely a magical bauble with the power to make the wearer invisible. I only used it to avoid unwelcome visitors. Imagine that old ring of mine causing such a fuss. I would gladly take charge of it again if that would help. Oh, yes. Gladly. Yes. You know, I think it would be best if we discussed something else.
Now you call Rivendell your home?
Well, the Shire will always be my home, I suppose. But this is the perfect place for so many things that I'm more than content to remain here. My days are mostly filled with my writing now.
What is it you write?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. History, my past adventures, family trees. I've even begun a book of translations from the Elvish. Although lately I've been working on poetry mostly. Say, maybe you could help me with that. I'm writing a poem for Aragorn, and I'm a bit stuck on a line or two.
Is that so? Well then, let me hear what you have.
Very well, very well. The verse that's giving me trouble runs like this. The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled.
The light from the west is rekindled. Forth from Imladris it springs. Renewed is the hope that has dwindled. To challenge the Lord of the Rings.
Hey now, that's not bad. No, maybe I can work with that. You missed your calling, my friend. Perhaps you should put down your weapons and take up a pen.
I hope one day I will be able to sit at ease and compose verse, but I fear that day is still far off.
I'm afraid you're right, but since these old hands are not much use with the sword, I'll just keep on with the pen. Though I'll need some help. Perhaps you could show this to the Lady Arwen. She has her people's gift with words, and this touches her deeply after all.
Arwen? Who is she?
Why, she's Elrond's daughter, of course, and Aragorn's beloved as well. Although you didn't hear that from me, she's a sweet lady, and I'm sure she'd be willing to give me a hand with this.
I will take it to her.
Ah, thanks very much. Be sure to give her my compliments, won't you?
I will indeed. Farewell now.
It is kind of you to seek me out again, Eridan. My father is deeply concerned over the tidings you bring. While my thoughts stray often to those who travel south, our most immediate danger comes from the north.
I have an errand I must not forget. Here is an unfinished poem from Bilbo. He asked for your opinion and advice, saying the subject is very close to your heart.
Then it must be about Estelle. He is fond of writing verses in honor of his good friend, and therefore often comes to me for advice. You may leave it with me, Eridan. I will give it some thought and answer him myself.
I have watched hobbits from their borders, but seldom spoken with them. Is Bilbo typical of his kind?
I had once thought Bilbo unique, but now that I have met Frodo, I say that elves know less of hobbits than we think. They have a strength within that is far greater than their stature. How many of us, thinking ourselves strong, could have borne the ring as long as Bilbo did, without being turned to evil? It sustained him, so that he is now very old amongst his kind, but it did not stain him, nor has it lessened his love of poetry and song. Dear old Bilbo, I believe there is nothing he loves more, except a good meal. In that, he remains a true hobbit. Yet I fear there are few left in Imladris who have a heart for feasting and poetry. With each piece of news, our people grow more grim. There is strength here in Imladris, but the enemy has laid his plans well. Sauron's allies are also powerful, and when the stroke falls, it will fall not only upon those lands near to Mordor. The North will feel his wrath as well.
You fear that Sauron would attack Rivendell directly?
He will not leave his fortress of Barad-dûr, but he will send his servants against us. The Ringwraiths are the greatest of these, but his will moves also through living men.
Is it Agandaur who is in your mind when you speak of Sauron's allies?
Agandaur is such a one. If you and your companions cannot find a way to stop him, the time will come that he will assail Imladris itself, and all that you see here may fall into shadow and ruin.
Imladris will not fall. I give you my oath to protect it and you at all cost.
Your courage gives me comfort. May the light of Elbereth fall upon you.